guys, it's Rachel from Thelittlereadinglamb, and this is very exciting. I have a book review on the 14th book in the Pretty Little Liars series, Deadly by Sara Shepard, and I just finished reading this like 20 minutes ago. I couldn't contain myself. I was shaking. I was like, I need to have a few minutes to calm down before I do my review. So basically the first part of this video is going to be a no spoilers. I'm just going to tell you the score I gave the book and not give any spoilers away, but the second part will be a discussion where there will be spoilers. But for you who have not read this book, I'll tell you so you can turn off the video and come back later if you wish to see the spoilers. So basically we're going to start off with the non-spoilers like I said. And like when I'm doing this, there could be spoilers about the other books, but there will be no spoilers from this book, so you don't have to worry about that if you're caught up with the series. If not, I can't help if I slip and say something from the other books. So basically, if you're new to my reviews or just need a refresher, I rate my books in 5 different categories: plot, characters, cover, suspense, and overall in terms of reading again very soon, a 5 out of 5, not so soon, 1 out of 5. So let me tell you, if you've read the 13th book, you know the ending in, like, it's intense. It's intense stuff. This just, like, I didn't know how this book series, I didn't know how the 13th book, like, the 14th book was going to go with it. I didn't know if it was going to be, like, even better, but it beat my expectations. Definitely. Like, reading the synopsis, I was like, I wonder how it's going to be, like, really intense and stuff like that. That's one of the things I love about these books. Like, they're just such... Like, you get thrown such a curve. The plot was definitely really good. Like, it's one of my new favorites in the series. That's how good it is. And it's really hard for me to pick favorites. Usually people ask me this, and I stumble on it. But this is definitely one of my new favorites. Like, it's really, really good. So, obviously that was a 5 out of 5. I don't really have anything to complain about the plot. Like, I really liked it. It moved really good. It wasn't, like, super fast so you couldn't get information. It was just at a good pace. Real good. So characters, 5 out of 5. I love the characters of these books. If you watch any of my reviews on these books, you know I love all the characters. And the characters this book, especially if you watch my discussion, you'll hear more about this. But the characters this book were really, like, this was making me pretty emotional. Like, I was getting angry. Not really sad. But I've read sad books like, for example, The Fault in Our Stars and stuff like that. And not have cried, because I don't really cry during books. I get angry. But this almost had me crying. I was so angry at some of the characters. That's how emotional it got. Cover, 5 out of 5. I really like this cover. All the covers I find sometimes don't look the same online as they do in person. Like, this looked very washed out online, but it actually looks really pretty. I don't know if you can see it perfectly because, of course, it's not in person for you guys. It kind of reminds me of my old bedroom walls, which obviously you guys won't know, because they were this color, so it kind of brought me back. And I like the dark purple font, and yeah. I really like this cover, actually. I don't know how it's going to go on the shelf. I haven't tried it out yet. Suspense, 5 out of 5. Obviously, so much suspense. It was so intense. There was a little snippet of something that I'm going to read in the discussion at the beginning or something. But basically, from the description, I looked at Sara Shepard's Twitter, and from the description it said that, like, this will have, at the end, readers will be, like, clutching their hardcover wanting more, and that's exactly how I felt, so it was an accurate description. Overall, 5 out of 5, definitely would read this again. There's lots of clues that I could pick up on, and I really want to go back and read Allie's Pretty Little Lies, the prequel, because I was a little confused in some parts of it, but I think I summed it up, but I'll discuss that more in the discussion part. So this has been my no spoilers review, so now we're going to move on to the discussion. Hey guys, now we're moving on to the discussion part, so this will contain spoilers from Pretty Little Liars, Flawless, Perfect, Unbelievable, Wicked, Killer, Heartless, Wanted, Twisted, Ruthless, Stunning, Burned, Crushed, and Deadly, especially Deadly, but there could be others. I think there's stuff at least from 12 and 13 that is relevant in this, and 8. So, first chapter. That, like, usually at the beginning of the chapter, because it's a lot of the times it's different perspectives and it's a repeat of a scene we've heard, but just from a different perspective. But I liked how this one was Allie's perspective, and we find out she's alive, which is a giant bombshell to drop at the beginning of the book. So then I'm scrambling to find out more, but that part, if you guys were shocked, like, I thought she was alive, but the way that they described it and how she did it, yeah, I was shocked. I didn't think she was actually going to be alive in the end. I thought it was going to be, like, a trick again. Or, like I don't know what I thought. But that was a really strong beginning. And that really got me hooked. Next. So next 2 points, they're kind of go with 2 other points. So a subscriber, I forget who it was, our commenter at least, said something about, it was on, I think, the Crushed video in the comments. He said that he thought Mike was like A's team helper, and I was thinking about how the character Graham said the name, I'm looking down if I'm looking at this, sorry. Graham said the name starts with N, but N can be also mistaken for M a lot of the times because people often think that when somebody says N, it kind of sounds like M, some people. Different pronunciation. So I was like, could Mike be a suspect? But I don't want him to be a suspect. I don't think he could honestly be that great of a suspect because, well, obviously he isn't anymore. Well, there's always possibility, but I don't think so. Yeah, so next, protesters. I found the protesting groups very suspicious, and for good reason if you finish the book. And it was kind of weird to see protesters considering all this crazy stuff's happened in this town, and now they get protesters. What? Or maybe now we're just hearing about them. But I was like, why did they just come? Like, I know this is a giant bombshell in the town, but I feel bad for all the people in this town. Like, they have so much danger. They live in a small town. Like, I feel bad. So telling all their secrets, that just blew up, with Agent Fuji. We'll just call her Agent F. So when they told Agent F all that stuff, that was like for me being a reader, I was like, wow, what a cleanse. Like, you know, we got this all out on the table. They're gonna be good, but obviously we're not even that far through the book, so stuff's about to go down. And also, if you read Sara Shepard's thing, it said they're going to have a face-to-face encounter with Allie. So that's what I was really looking forward to. And I thought that was going to happen in the last 100 pages, but I was like, wait, it's going to be short because it's going to tease us to keep continuing on. The Rosewood serial killer. I was like, haven't they used this title already? But, like, yeah. Their town must get so much bad publicity, like... I'm surprised in the last book, I think it was the 13th or 13th. Yeah, I believe. No. It was earlier on. I forget what book it was. Maybe the 10th. I can't remember, but that new girl that was Emily's friend moved to town. And they're like, we got a really good deal in the house. Well, their values of their houses must be going down. Like, that town must have a bad value because so much stuff happens in that town. Like, yeah, I'd be moving. Poor Mr. Clark, with all the people died. Because if you think about it, he didn't just lose, like, he has his daughter's boyfriend, who knows what their relationship was, Gail, and then the kid that was supposed to be in his house. So I felt really bad for him with that, like, at least at the funeral. And Chase seems suspicious with the keychain. And I think he's going to come back, but he was kind of like, he was locked in his apartment with the music on, which made it seem like somebody was home. So, yeah, I'm pretty suspicious of him still, and I think he might join forces with Allie. Just prediction. My guess. I did not like Isabel in this book, how she let her feelings out. That was really rude and not called for, and I didn't like that. Mike makes a disappearance in the middle of the book, which is quite suspicious, which leads me back to what the commenter said. That was quite suspicious, and how he's texting them. I was kind of worried about that. I was like, oh no, it can't be him. But it wasn't, at least what was revealed. And Emily and Carolyn's fight. So that was pretty explosive considering Carolyn's been pretty bland. Well, not bland, but yeah, she's actually been a bland character. And to see that explosive fight and then Miss Field's collapse, that was definitely a shocker. Like, when I thought things couldn't get any crazier, that was this thing that rang all the craziness out, I think. And yeah. How they arrested them, they always seem to find them all together when they arrest them. So, like, when they arrest them, it was kind of like, I didn't like how the agent didn't believe them and they thought they were emailing themselves, because honestly, why would they spill those secrets just to get attention? But I can see where they're coming from with that, but I was like, wouldn't that be kind of pointless? Like, they're going crazy. Well, I guess that kind of fits the purpose. But still, I don't know why they would torment them and ruin relationships with people just to get attention. Especially if they weren't telling anybody about A for the longest time, keeping it to themselves. Like, I don't know why they tortured themselves by themselves. Wouldn't they, like, go crying wolf right at the beginning? Mean Mr. Martin. I did not like Mr. Martin in this. He kind of redeemed himself last book and the beginning of this book, but, you know, he's off again. So is Isabel. But Kate's actually moved up on the totem pole of that hierarchy. I liked her character in this book. But I'm worrying that she might have a motive. But I don't think she does, but you never know. Emily not on the list for Miss Fields, that was like harsh. That was the point where I was like so angry at them and how Miss Fields wouldn't look at her. I really want to know what her reaction, like Mrs. Fields' reaction would be in the next book. Kind of like how Emily's family would accept her, because they were probably the harshest on anybody. Allie's in the picket line. That's what I was thinking when I heard that tape being played. I was like, that's the picket line. Because it makes sense because it's repeating noise. And they said bullhorn. And I was like, that's got to be the protesters. My other thing I had an issue with was, I still like the book. Like, I just pointing out my issues here. But why was Mason Byers valedictorian when they always said Andrew and Spencer were number 1 and 2? I was just wondering where his character went. Was that explained? Because I completely forgot if he like left the school or something. If he got out of there, kudo to him. Because honestly, I would get out of that town too. Emily's jumping, that was really sad. Like, and I liked how they kind of talked her out of it and said like that's what Allie wants you to do. And yeah, I really liked her character this book. Like, I think this is the book that Emily's character is kind of like one of my favorite storylines. Like, lately her storyline has been getting really good and like more intense and suspenseful, which I really like. I also like the fact that Arya, Noel, and Hannah Mike were all together kind of in the book, and those relationships didn't fail. Guns. When they went into the house and they had the guns, like, I was like, this is going to be crazy. Like, stuff's about to go down. Stuff's about to start flying. Like, that was crazy. And I didn't expect it to escalate that far, because not only in this, well, before the FBI was involved, but the FBI was more heavily involved in this book. And Arya Guns, like, this is just getting more and more vicious. And I just cannot stop reading this, because it's, like, it makes it so much more intense. But one of my favorite scenes of this book is Emily and Allie, because Emily says that she hates Allie. And Allie, like, the thing is, she's shocked because she still thinks she has power over people, but clearly, why would they like her still? I wouldn't. And I'm happy Emily did that. I was like, good job, Emily. Like, you're a rockin' character. You redeemed yourself for whining in the 8th book all about Allie. Like, it's all over. Like, you've redeemed yourself for that. Because that, like, if you've listened to my book talks, that was so annoying to me. So now when I hear, like, her say that, I was like, yes, like, finally she's standing up for herself, which I really like. Allie escaped again. I was like, what? She escaped again. Like, this girl is so smart and, like, meticulous with her plans. Like, how she escaped. And I feel bad for Nick. Like, I wrote on my sheet, bye-bye, Nick. Because how she set him up when he actually killed Tabitha. Yes, he did kill Tabitha, but Allie obviously helped do a lot of the murderings, and I don't like how he went down for that, but that was very, like, I have to give her props for, not props for killing somebody, but props for her plan, because it's very meticulous. Like, she filmed him doing that so in case she went down. Like, she is very conniving, and she doesn't get enough credit for this. Like, the girls know she's smart, but she is, like, genius level at this. But I guess because she has all the time in the world to dedicate to this, maybe that makes a difference. And obviously this is not a good trade to go into. Yeah, but she's very good at these plans to take the girls down. But they never seem to go out well because the girls just outsmart her, which is probably good, because I honestly thought for a while Emily wasn't going to be in the next book after that. Like, after her attempted bridge jumping. And yeah, Allie's last chapter, how she went and stole Nick's trust fund and now she's going to find somebody else to be her accomplice. I'm interested in who would be her accomplice and how she's going to find somebody. And I don't think Iris would be her accomplice, because that was pretty sad about Iris, how he hurt her. So he's just as crazy as her. My last question. Did we know Nick was Allie's accomplice in Allie's Pretty Little Lies? Because honestly, I don't remember hearing that. I remember feeling suspicious about him, but I don't think they necessarily said that. So if anybody knows if it was announced only in this book or it was announced in that book, if you could let me know, that'd be great. Also, I want to know what you guys thought of this book, if you've read it or not. Well, if you've read it, you'll know about the book. But if you haven't got it yet and you're excited for it, let me know. And if you guys have any theories who Allie's going to pick next, because now we know her accomplice. And if you guys have any predictions what's going to happen next, I'd be really interested in hearing it. And sorry this has been so long and dragged out, but thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.